I'm gonna be going from black to a very light, almost platinum blonde. Let's see how this turns out. Please excuse my shirt. It is my designated hair dyeing shirt. Before we get started, I'm gonna go over all of the products that I just bought. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna be using today is Color Fix by One and Only. This is probably not enough for my hair, being that it's pretty thick and it's almost to my tatas. So I got 2 boxes. Basically what this does is it removes hair dye that was previously put in your hair. I have been dyeing my hair for several years now. So basically none of this is natural. Except for way up at the roots in here. Like a little over ½ of an inch is natural. I'm gonna use this to get the black out, and I will say right now, I was previously blonde before this. If you guys watch my other videos, you would know that there is bleached hair under this color. So this should work out pretty well for me. It should bring me to like a auburny looking red, which is kind of weird, but basically it's gonna still be really brassy. So because of that, I'm going to have to bleach it. The bleach that I already had here at home is the Salon Care Prism Lights Blue. The blue is just to cancel out the brassy tones, or at least most of them, because it's gonna be pretty dark coming from black. On this, it actually says that it lightens up to 5 levels. Ideal for on and off scalp application. So you can apply this all the way to your roots and it's not gonna kill your head. And luckily, the developer that I have to go along with it is the Sensitive Scalp by Ion. A lot of people are gonna say that 40 volume is completely unnecessary, but I'm coming from a very dark brown, pretty much soft black. The color that I actually used for this is called Soft Black, and I got it by Garnier Fructis. But if you're scared, don't use 40, use a 30. And after the bleaching, just to make sure that the color is gonna be what I want it to be, I got the Wella Color Charm T18 Lightest Ash Blonde, which doesn't necessarily mean my hair is going to turn out ash blonde. It just means that it's gonna cancel out some of those red-orange tones. And along with that, I got the Wella Color Charm Developer in 20 volume, because when you are toning your hair or dyeing your hair and you need developer, it's best to get 10 or 20, because once you start getting to 30 and 40, that's when you're lifting. So you really don't need to lift to add color. You'll get more pigment if you use a 10 or a 20. And for the aftercare, I'll probably use this after the toning. This is the Ion Repair Solutions. These are just packets that you want to let your hair sit in for like a really good long time. And the last thing that I bought from Sally's today was the Hair Strengthener by Mane & Tail, which I talked about previously in my favorites video. This stuff over time, if you use it every day, it moisturizes your hair so much to where it prevents split ends from happening. One thing I will say is very important, you better have gloves, which sadly I don't think I do unless they come in the Color Fix. Okay, Color Fix does not come with gloves, cool. What am I gonna do about that? You would think that I just had like a thing of disposable gloves with how often I freaking dye my hair. Okay, do not try this at home. I'm gonna be doing this with my bare hands and I already regret it. Okay, you need gloves, and you'll also need a mixing bowl with measurements on the side. Mine shows in fluid ounces. I don't know if you can really see it in the camera. There's little lines right here, and I'm going to be using this brush. Both of these I also got from Sally, so I still suggest only doing this if you're 100% comfortable. If you don't really know what you're doing, maybe you should go see a stylist. But I've done this so many times, man, so many times. And honestly, it's so freaking tedious, but I love the outcome so much. When it comes to brushing your hair before you use chemicals on your head, make sure when you're going on your scalp, you are doing it as gently as possible. Always start from the ends. And now that I'm on my scalp, I'm not really touching my scalp with the brush. I'm just brushing the hair right on top without bearing down on it whatsoever. Why do you think we do this? I'll give you 5 seconds as if we're watching Dora so you can answer. Correct! Because you don't want to You create an open wound on your scalp that chemicals get into and burn you and give you blisters. Correct. My hair is now smoothly brushed. Time to get my hands dirty because I don't have gloves. This is bullshit. First, we're gonna start with the very stinky, sulfur-infested color fix. But luckily this one has argan oil in it, so it is better for your hair than like Color Oops from like Rite Aid or Walmart or whatever. So the color fix comes with 3 bottles. 1, the color reducer. 2, the conditioning catalyst. And 3, the processing lotion. I'm not going to use the processing lotion because this is just what you use when you want to stop your hair from lightening, basically. It's kind of like an emergency stop break or whatever. So I'm not going to use this because I want my hair to be pretty much as light as possible. And step 1 and 2, it actually says on the bottle that you do mix them together. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour number 1 in my bowl, all of it. Guys, I'm not kidding when I say this smells like rotten eggs, and it is going to stink up your house. And I will say you gotta use some kind of fragrance conditioner and shampoo or something afterwards because your hair is gonna smell like Alright, step number 2 going in. You just add both parts equally. This one's kind of like a cream. I am so mad I don't have gloves. Steps 1 and 2 added together. I'm gonna go ahead and take my trusty dusty brush and mix it together like so. If I look exhausted, it's because I woke up at 5 a.m. to go to work this morning. Alright, and this is the consistency once you are finished mixing the 2. There's gotta be like an unused hair dye kit somewhere in here that has some gloves. Nope, of course not. Why would anything ever go well? I'm just gonna go for it. Where you start doesn't really matter with this stuff because you're just gonna smother your whole freaking head with it basically. But I'm just gonna start right here because this is always the most visible spot of my head. Don't do this on carpet. I knew some shit like that was gonna happen. I'm gonna have to do this with the mirror. It's really hard to record this while it's happening because I'm gonna risk getting this all on my eyes. So basically, just, you know, soak your whole freaking head with it. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm back now that my hair smells awful. It's really hard to see. Let me show you. I'm already getting some color change and I just finished applying it to my whole head. So I'm starting to get like a dark brown, like reddish color, which I totally expect. This is just 1 box, but I'm probably gonna open the 2nd box too just to get a really good coat on everything. After I get it all on there, I'll try 20 minutes first and see if it got everything out. If not, then I'll wait 10 more minutes and I'll wash it out at 30. You don't want to leave chemicals on your hair for more than like 35 minutes, I would say, because it's just not good to leave strong chemicals on your hair for that long. So I will show you guys what this looks like after I think it's lifted quite a bit. Okay guys, it's been about 20 to 30 minutes. It really mainly just lightened from like here down, which is fine because up here there's a lot of routage, as Guy Tang would say. And now I'm gonna go wash it and we shall see what it looks like when it's dry. So this came out even better than I imagined. It's very red as I expected, but it lifted to a good color to bleach at. For a second I was like, I kind of want to keep this, but nah. So it's important that you know, if you are gonna blow dry your hair like I just did, use cool air, because if you use hot air and then you apply bleach to your head and scalp area, it is going to burn like crazy. And I mean, it's already kind of gonna like itch a little bit, but after blow drying your hair with some like direct heat and then putting bleach on, your scalp feels like it's on fire. So highly suggest don't do that. Another thing I was gonna say is that I ended up wasting quite a lot of this color fix So I highly suggest if your hair is the same length as mine, which is like right here, you could probably just use one box as long as you section off your hair properly. I kind of just dumped it all on there. So I guess we're gonna move on to the bleaching. If you feel like your hair is not feeling very good, which the color fix isn't too damaging, but after the bleaching, if your hair doesn't feel very strong, I highly suggest you just wait a little bit to do the toner. So now for the part that I extremely shouldn't be doing without gloves. The bleaching. Get your bowl ready. Oh, this stuff smells good, but don't breathe it in too much. So it comes with a scoop, and this scoop is what you need to measure how much bleach you're gonna be using with how much developer you're gonna be using. Okay, so it's 1 scoop of powder. It is 2 scoops of developer. So I did 3 scoops of the powder. Got it there. Because this stuff is super thick, you might wanna use just a tad more than you think you need. And it is hard to evenly spread throughout your hair. Now I'm going to get my developer, and since I did 3 scoops of powder, I'm gonna do 6 scoops of developer. Okay, it's a good thing that I only had the intention of doing that much because my bowl couldn't take much more. So I would suggest that's like the maximum that you do. If you have longer hair, you can just do the process over again once you scoop out all of this. And now I'm just gonna mix it up like so. While I'm doing this, I just wanna explain to you guys one more thing about why I did the color fix before I'm bleaching it instead of just bleaching twice. Is number 1, it is not as damaging as bleaching your hair twice. And number 2, you want to strip the color out first, because if you bleach with the color dye in your hair and you bleach it, it is just going to lighten the pigments of the colored dye. Whereas if you strip the color out, it's going to be as blonde and pure as possible. It's the best way I can describe it. I'm trying to think if there's any more questions that I've had to answer previously on my dark brown to silver hair video. If you guys are interested in seeing how to obtain silver hair, go check it out. I will leave it at the end of this video so you can click on it. Alright, this is the consistency. Once again, remember what I said earlier about not brushing on your scalp, especially before you use bleach. Here goes everything. Goodbye, Ginger Jen. And by the way, I'm gonna also dye my undercut too, so. I love wearing long shirts when I dye my hair because I can just kind of use the sleeve as a wipe. It's great. So whenever I do my undercut, if you guys have one and you're interested, I kind of do it first because if I don't, it'll look yellow compared to the rest of my hair because it didn't have as long to process. And I don't know why, but my undercut hair is so stubborn for some reason. I'm going to just keep doing this all over my head, separating parts, and there goes my sections. Just, I'm not the type to do that for some reason, but if you need to, I would do it. I'm just gonna keep applying it to the top first. I'll see you guys in a minute, or 20-ish. I look crazy right now, but man, that took forever. Oh my god, it wasn't this hard when my hair was shorter. Probably gonna leave this on for about 20 minutes because this side is already really saturated and I don't want to fry it off. Because if you leave bleach on, especially this high volume, it can really damage your hair. So I'm just gonna wait till I see that this side has lifted and then I'm just gonna wash it out. I will hit you guys up when I am done taking a shower. Okay, sorry if you hear the TV, Jeremy's out there watching TV. It's not as blonde right here as I would like for it to be before I tone it, so I will have to spot bleach basically. Here, I'll show you. Without the ring light, it doesn't really look as, see how it's like pretty orange right here and right here, and I actually do have like a couple dark spots. I'm pretty sure last time this happened I went ahead and did the gray, but since I want it to be like really blonde, I'm going to go in and just fix those spots. I'm not gonna touch this stuff because it's fine the way it is. Also, it's pretty brittle right now, as it would be after bleaching with 40 volume developer, but I expected that, that's fine. So yeah, I'm just gonna get these little spots. I'm gonna change my shirt because I actually like this shirt, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've got the different shirt on. By the way, this is day 2. I bleached my hair and then I was just like really tired after that, so I went to bed, which is also pretty good because I let some of my natural oils come back a little bit, so my hair is not going to be as brittle as it could be. I'm gonna go ahead and get some more bleach. By the way, it doesn't really matter the amount that you use as long as you keep the ratio of 1 scoop of bleach to 2 scoops of developer. Just use what you need. That's the great part about getting big tubs like this, is you don't have to worry about running out. I do kind of suggest, if this happens to you, to only use like a 30 volume, but I don't have that, so I'll just have to watch my hair carefully and see when it lifts and then wash it as soon as it's done lifting. Oh, and another thing, please, please, please use gloves, because the tips of my fingers hurt like pretty bad today. I think it's because like the bleach kind of seeped into my the sides of my fingernails and it kind of hurts, so there's a reason why you should be wearing gloves. So since I'm only doing a touch-up, I did 2 scoops of powder and 4 scoops of developer. Okay, so I've got the bleach ready, and now I'm just going to paint my hair on the spots that need it the most. I'm not gonna do my roots again either because those are bright enough. So I've done the spots that are really brassy, and I have not touched down here, and I'm not going to, but I'm only gonna wait probably like 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm just gonna wash this right out. When I go through and tone it, it will all be pretty even. Okay, so I literally just got out of the shower and it is not as yellow in the spots that it was previously, so that's good. I just did some research about, do people apply toner to wet hair or dried hair? And there are reasons people choose both routes. A lot of people say they do wet hair, but they towel dry it so that the water doesn't dilute the toner. So you don't want your hair to be like really wet to the touch, you just want it to be damp. That way, you know, there's just less time and damage that you're gonna put on your hair from blow drying it before you tone it. So I'm going to gently brush this out. There's a few spots in here that are very, very fragile, so I'm gonna be careful with that. So yeah, I will see you guys after my hair is brushed. Well, I didn't brush my hair too much. I kind of just got it to where I can work with it, because you really want to be careful with your hair when it's in this state because it's very brittle. This part of my hair has absorbed so much bleach over time that it's quite elasticy right now, so I'm not really gonna mess with it much. I'm just gonna like gently apply the toner to it and see what happens. But the rest of my hair, like the ends, like this side of my hair, is all still roughly healthy. This is really the only spot of my hair that always gets like a super amount of damage. Even like in my last video I did, there's always this one spot that just gets annihilated by bleach. But the rest of it's pretty much fine. I'm gonna pat my hair one more time with the towel. So I just take the towel and I just kind of pat it like so. That way it is damp, not wet. On the bottle of Wella Color Charm, it says that you're gonna use 1 part of this and 2 parts of developer, just like everything else. So I'm not even gonna use this whole bottle because this bottle is 3.6 fluid ounces. I'm only gonna need to use 2.8 because 1.4 times 2 is 2.8. I'm gonna pour to the 2, almost to the 3rd line. Still got like a tiny little bit left in here, but I really just don't feel like diluting it or messing with it, so probably not gonna be able to even use this again. Sorry guys, I had to go get my own personal Jeremy to open this for me. And you just mix the developer and the toner. I forgot to tell you guys, there is something that I have from a previous hair dyeing experience, and it is this little packet that is a red and gold corrector. These are really cheap at Sally's, so I will include this in the list of items that I got. You don't have to use this, but I want to be extra sure that this yellow is tamed. I'm gonna add this to the toner. So I'm just gonna add this full packet in there. You can kind of probably see it. It's that dark stuff in the middle. This is gonna be super liquidy. After everything is mixed together, you've got this purple goop that is going to get everywhere if you're not careful. So I'm just gonna do this directly over my sink. which you're not really gonna be able to see. Just like everything else, I'm gonna coat my entire head with it, starting with the parts that are more orange. I'm gonna start on my bangs first. See you guys when my hair is completely covered. Okay, so while my hair is toning, which I can already tell a lovely difference. It's not purple, but if you look really close to the hair, it looks like a cool tone. I'll show you after I take a shower, but I can already tell the difference, and applying it to towel dried hair that is still pretty damp really makes a difference in terms of how much product you're able to use. I used all of it, but it was the perfect amount for my hair. So if your hair is longer than mine, I would suggest probably getting 2 bottles. I'm very happy with how it feels. It's nice and cooling compared to the bleach, and it is much easier to spread throughout the hair than the bleach was. Every shower that I've taken up to this point to rinse out my hair, when it was after the color fix and after the bleach, I rinsed out my hair and I used this to condition it. It is the Tresemme Repair and Protect 7. This stuff really makes your hair nice and soft. I've been using this in between, but when I go to rinse this out, I'm going to put these packets in my hair and I'm going to let it sit in the shower for quite a while, probably about 10 minutes while I'm in the shower. I will admit, up to this point, I was getting a little nervous about the outcome, but I think that it's all gonna work out because now this toner is really starting to tone it. I'll show you guys the end result after I wash my hair, use the Repair by Ion, and I will also blow dry it with probably some of this. By the way, before I take a shower, I'm gonna let this sit in my hair for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna do the reveal with you guys. I know I look atrocious right now, but for the little part that I can see already, I'm very happy with it. Wow, I can't believe I did this in like less than 2 days. This turned out exactly how I wanted it to. I'm gonna let my hair towel dry for a little bit. I'm gonna put it back in the towel, and then I'm going to start blow drying it, and I will show you guys that process. Okay, so it is now pretty towel dried. What I'm gonna do before I start blow drying it is I'm going to get my mane and tail hair strengthening spray, and I'm going to spray my hair directly because my hair is wet anyway, so after I dry it, it won't really look greasy anymore. The reason I'm showing you guys how to do this is because if you guys do this, you'll realize after all of this process, your hair is gonna feel super damaged and angry. So you wanna brush it gently, starting from the bottom and working your way up. This spray really helps your hair feel moisturized and not dry, so your brush isn't gonna get stuck as much. It's almost like a detangler. Honestly, the best thing to do would not be to blow dry your hair directly after, and I'm gonna be using warm. Hot is probably a little too strong. If your hair feels really damaged, just use cool. Okay, so I am completely happy with the result. I just want you guys to know something though. If you do this, you're probably gonna damage your hair. There's a few parts I actually clipped out because they were really fried, but if you have hair that hasn't been dyed very often, then it might work out better for you, but my hair has been through so much in the past like few months. I've been dyeing it. I go from one extreme to the other like each time, so I've put my hair through a lot. I'm very happy with it, and I know by tomorrow, after some of my natural oils get back into it, it will look a lot better and healthier again. I mean, this isn't too bad for everything I did to it. So this right here, I just need to straighten it, but I'm very happy. Another thing, if you're scared about this, I would suggest doing it in a longer distance apart and possibly using 30 volume instead of 40 volume. Good luck, you guys. For Upkeep, if you want it to stay a very bright blonde with less yellow in it, I suggest using this shampoo or one like it, basically a purple shampoo. It will keep yellow tones from getting in your hair basically because it's kind of like a toning conditioner. I'll show you. The color is very purple. Ta-da! So yeah, it's basically like a toner. It'll actually make your hair look probably cooler than it already looked. Cooler as in color tones. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will have everything listed below with the times that I left it in, the prices, and everything like that. I just advise you to be very careful, and if your hair feels brittle and damaged, you might need to take the process a little bit slower. Let me know how it goes in the comments below. And if you want to see my Instagram, it is below, you guys, just like it is here. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, I'll probably be doing more to my hair in the future. So you guys, thank you for watching.